I am Alexander Adams. I hail from Norfolk, Virginia. I was born in 1812 to my father, Alexander Adams, and my mother, Susan Sladen Adams, who was born in Virginia. Coincidentally, they were both born in 1776, the year of our independence, which leads to my grandfather, James Adams, who was born in Coronary House, Ireland in 1740. He came to the colonies as an indentured servant, and when he got here, he said, "Son, I found the woman I wanted. I chased and courted your grandmother Agnes from Pennsylvania, and as my grandmother told me, he says, I was so embarrassed and felt so sorry for him that I said yes." He enlisted and fought in the Indian Wars and the American Revolution, for which he received huge parcels of land in Hopkins, Kentucky, where my father was born and raised, which leads to me. I've had a few missteps in my life, one of them being that I married Priscilla Jones in North Cumberland. We had a daughter, Mary Josephine Adams, who I brought with me. As we trickled down the states, I found and married my wife Antoinette Loritz in Louisiana, where we found out about Victoria, Texas, from friends and in conversation with people that we knew. So we came to Victoria. When we got here, we saw the beauty of the area, rich, fertile land, ample game. We fell in love immediately. We were also allotted 640 acres of land, an allotment that was given to people depending on the years that they got to Victoria, with one stipulation: it had to be settled and worked, which we did. And soon after that, I came up with my own brand. What we found out immediately, though, was that the Texas Revolution with Mexico was in full swing. The execution of over 400 Texans by Santana and Goliad laid extremely heavy in everybody's heart. So 800 of us Texans, with Sam Houston as our leader, decided to put an end to it. We marched to San Jacinto, stationed ourselves all around the city, and on April the 21st, 1836, we attacked Santana mid-afternoon. We hit him with a barrage of cannon fire and attacked him with such a fury that the majority of his people retreated. Soon after that, Santa Anna surrendered to Sam Houston, and 630 of Santa Anna's men were killed that day, and 9 of our fellow Texians. And that was the end of that. Upon our arrival in Victoria, we found out there had been numerous Indian raids in the city. So what a lot of us did is that we moved out to the outskirts of the city and formed a perimeter around it so we could warn the people about Indian attacks or any dangers around the area. One of the incidents that's really close to my heart is that one day while I was out working in the fields, the Indians attacked our house. They broke down the front door, and my wife, Antoinette, saw an Indian run a spear right through a man that stood in front of her to protect her. She was lucky enough to run out the back door, came and found me, and they brought me back. By the time we returned, they were gone. After everything settled down, since I am a brickmaker by trade, I opened up a brickyard with E.C. Clemens. The site was at the end of Staten Street, site of an old pump house. I hear there's a little restaurant there now. We worked the brickyard for years and then sold it to Richard Owens. Richard Owens and I had worked numerous projects together. We built the courthouse and the Wheeler House together. Richard decided to start putting his name on the brick, so chances are you'll find a brick or two laying around here in Victoria. After that, Victoria was booming, so a lot of us contributed. I was an alderman between 1844 and 1859 numerous times. Some of the most memorable accomplishments were, the first one was that in 1845, with J.O. Wheeler as mayor, we gave them the authorization to hire people to clean up the city, which brought up those pesky taxes that were charged in increments of $5 to $10 to all businesses, which were paid quarterly, which made them really unhappy. Second one, 1846, with Jay Wheeler still as a mayor, we decided to build a courthouse, a 40 by 50 foot courthouse. Courthouse was built on the site of the present day courthouse square. And the third one, I guess the best one of all, was that we decided to come up with a $50,000 bond issue, which were never ever used, but we had come up with a bond issue to buy capital stock on the San Antonio Mexican Gulf Railroad. Since the railroad was under reorganization and they had heard about the stock, they decided to run the railroad right through the city. With all those accomplishments, I guess everything has to come to an end. I died peacefully at home with my Antoinette by my side, June 30th, 1865. In 1867, my wife Antoinette and my brother Oliver, while caring for the people during the yellow fever pandemic, succumbed to the sickness and died. All three of us are buried together here at in the cemetery, right here. So this is me, and this is my wife Antoinette, and this is my brother Oliver.